What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on my Subaru build. So today we're going to pick right back up with the cage build. So last thing that I did actually today and finished up was plating the rear strut towers. So now I've got to do the windshield bar, and we're going to try to get the roof bars done as well. So first things first, I got to take all the crap that's in here. So I got like a bunch of pointless stuff, random clamps and whatnot in the car right now. Got to pull that out. And set up my front lateral bars. That way I can actually get them mocked up in the places that they're going to actually be, so I can actually get an accurate depiction of where the windshield bar is going to go. Alright, I finally got everything cleaned out of here, and the lateral bars are back in here exactly where they're going to go. So I had to trim this side because I never got around to it, just because I've been lazy lately, but got this one all trimmed, and it's sitting exactly where it's going to go, but it's just being held in by these clamps, obviously. So today we are working on the windshield bar. So this bar should be really easy to make. We'll see though. So it is obviously just the one bar, and it's going to tie into the cage right here on both sides of the laterals. And it's only going to have one bend in it right in the center. That way it'll actually tuck up a little bit more out of the way, and it'll get it closer to the roof reinforcement that already is on the car. So the first thing that I'm going to get is the length of the tube. So I'm going to overcompensate, and I'm going to leave a couple extra inches, mostly because I want the center of the bend to hit exactly like in the center of the roof. And I'm probably not going to be able to pinpoint exactly where to start that bend to put where the point of the bend will be right at the center. So I'll leave a couple extra inches on both sides. That way I can adjust it as I see fit. Plus, when I add that bend, it's going to take a little bit of material, not very much because it's not a very severe bend. But you have to account for that as well. So, get the total distance that I need here, 37 inches. So, go with 41 because I'd rather waste a few inches. Anyway, now we got to figure out what kind of an angle that we're going to want this at. So, I want to follow this roof bar pretty much to a T as much as I can, or get as close to it as I can with the bend. So figuring out that it kind of comes, if it came straight across, just kind of eyeballing it, it needs to come up at least 2 inches in 18.5 inches. Now, if you know that, then you can actually figure out exactly how many degrees you need to do that, because you can just do a run of 18.5 inches with a rise of 2 and just a normal slope for rise formula, and you will actually get how many degrees that you would have to make that. So you have to double it though. So that's just to get it over here, and obviously it's got to come back down. So you got to make double whatever the answer is going to be. So I calculated it on my phone. I didn't actually do it in my head, but to get the rise of 2 inches over 18.5 inches, you need to have a 6-degree slope. And you also use up like an extra 1/8 inch of material when you do that, or length. So for both sides, because you have to double it, it would be 12 degrees. So I'm gonna go a little safe, just like I always do. So 10 degrees is what we're gonna do for our first one at 40 inches. So I don't need the whole 41, so we'll just go half of 40, and I'll be able to adjust it left or right depending on that. And then if we need to, we'll throw it back in the bender if we see that we can get it a little bit closer to the actual rib. But yeah, we're ready to actually cut and start bending. So it does fit, But I'm not even a fan really of how this looks with this tube in here. So I think I'm going to change the design. So instead of the one bend in the middle, I don't really like that. So I think if I just do 2 5-degree bends on these 2 areas, or 2 6-degree bends or whatever, to raise it up enough, it would actually follow the roof line a lot straighter and for a longer time than just me in the center. Oh, that was a good catch. So yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bend here and a little bend here, and I should be able to tuck really nicely up in this lip of this rib for the windshield. And I feel like that would provide a lot more stability and get it a lot tighter to the chassis. So that's what I'm going to do, and that might even take me a couple attempts. So we'll see. Get it right the first time, that'd be nice. Definitely save a lot of time, but oh well. I know not to make the tubes too short now. But anyway, so I'm going to grab the cheater, and we're going to try to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to play it a little safe on this angle. Call it 25 degrees. So I need a 40-inch tube, doing 25 degrees, going to mark the center, and then go out to the start of both of our bends, and then bend them both at 25 degrees and see if it fits at all. Okay, just bent this one up. Let's see if it fits. I mean, it looks decent. I mean, it's really hard to tell. Let's see if I could somehow figure out the best way to get these notches without ruining too much. Well, magically it's daylight and I have a haircut now. So last night I got pretty frustrated. I was trying to hold this bar up and get the measurements for where I need to notch it, and I dropped it on my head twice. So unfortunately I don't have film of it because I wasn't filming. Otherwise I would show you guys because it'd be pretty funny to watch. But I got pretty frustrated with everything last night, so figured it'd be best to just walk away and not try to notch it while I was angry. So we're gonna give it a shot today. I think I need to find my Sharpie before I can do that though. But hopefully we can get this part right, and we can move on to the roof bars, and then maybe pulling the roof off today. We'll see if we got time for all that, but depends on how smoothly this goes today, because it definitely didn't yesterday. Well, that's why you don't buy DeWalt tools. That thing is definitely smoking. I think the motor just fried in my drill. I do have the other drill, but all my batteries are dead because I forgot to charge them, so DeWalt sucks. It's exciting. Almost dropped on my head again. All right, so I'm just gonna clean up the notches a little bit on the insides. That way it can sit a little bit more flush, and then just clean up the outside of all of the areas. And then we'll see exactly how it fits. But the notches are pretty much spot on right now. Now I just gotta actually position exactly where I want it and clean up the notches like slowly to get it to fit perfectly. I think I got it. All right, garage door is blowing out the picture. Anyway, so here's the fitment from the front. It tucks up in there pretty good. I finally got all of these notches to where they fit pretty tightly on there. It tucks up into the roof pretty well. But on the inside, you can kind of see, I could have gone a little higher with it. There's a decent gap that I wish I had gone that, and it's about 1/2 inch up. But it does touch the roof rib a little bit up in here. So like where this corner is and where that corner is, it touches the rib of the roof. So that's nice. And I can also I'm gonna run gussets to the actual windshield rib and up to the roof as well, just to minimize any sort of issues if there is a rollover. So I think for the sake of keeping my videos just a little bit shorter, because they've kind of been getting a little bit crazy long when I do a bunch of stuff at once. So I'm going to just do the windshield bar in this one, and I guess I'll start on the roof bars, but that'll be in a separate video. So I'm going to try to put out videos a little bit more frequently than just 3 times a week. If I try to make them a little bit shorter, hopefully they'll be a little bit easier to edit if that's the case. But I'm going to save the roof bars for another video, and then once I get the roof bars done, then I'm going to start going through and getting all the spot welds out of the roof. That way I can pull it off. Once I get the roof off, then I'll probably make the few gussets that I actually need to for the roof. So not actual like taco gussets or anything like that, but additional bars that are going to go like on the windshield bar and the 8-pillar bar from the main hoop. That way when I drop it, I can fully weld all those pieces that I'm going to need to actually drop the cage and weld them up, and then I don't have to worry about dropping the cage again. So then I can start on the rear sections and then the door bars, and slowly moving along. So hopefully I start getting the hang of notching so it doesn't take me as long, because the tube bending is definitely coming a lot easier. But the notching's taking some time to get used to, and not ruining the tube once you actually notch it. But windshield bar came out all right, so I'm happy with it. But once again, appreciate you guys watching my videos. You guys have a good one.